Hello and welcome back to Horoscope TV. It is so fantastic to have you with us again as we, look toward the stars to figure out what is actually going on down here on Earth.
It's great to be back.
Today, we have a very, very specific mission. We are turning our telescope, or maybe our microscope, directly onto the sign of the scales.
That's right.
We are talking all about Libra, and we aren't just talking generally, we're looking at a really specific window of time. We're analyzing the forecast for the week of February 23rd all the way through March 1st, 2026.
And for any Libras tuning in, or, for those of you who have a Libra in your life, this is going to be a week. It's really going to test your famous ability to maintain that equilibrium. The stars have laid out a fascinating, I'll admit, slightly chaotic roadmap for late February.
I was just looking over the astrological data for this week, and honestly, chaotic feels like the right word, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We're calling this week's theme Harmony Amidst the Retrograde, which, that sounds like a bit of a paradox if you know anything about astrology. Usually when I hear retrograde, I think disharmony, I think things breaking down, misunderstandings, just cosmic static.
That is the common reaction, 100%. But for Libra, whose entire archetype is built around that search for balance and beauty and connection, this week offers a really specific kind of challenge.
Okay.
It's all about agility. We have a few major cosmic players on the board. We've got first quarter moon right at the start of the week.
Right.
Then Mercury officially turns retrograde midweek. And then we get a very volatile, I'd even say somewhat explosive interaction between Mars and Uranus.
Okay, let's unpack this a little, because when you list them out like that, retrograde, moon tension, Mars and Uranus fighting, it sounds like a lot.
It is a lot.
It sounds like the astrological equivalent of a severe storm warning. But the goal here isn't to scare our Libra listeners, it's to give them the map so they don't, drive off a cliff, metaphorically speaking.
Nicely.
We want to empower them, right?
That's the mission. Our mission is to analyze this astrological data to help you navigate that chaos.
Yeah.
We want to help you find what the charts are calling your creative joys.
Oh, I like that.
And really understand the specific energies that are going to be hitting your daily habits.
Yeah.
Because that's where this battle is going to be fought in the day-to-day. It's not necessarily about the grand arc of your destiny this week. It's about how you handle Tuesday morning versus, say, Friday afternoon.
So let's just jump right into the timeline then. We're starting the week on Monday, February 23rd, but that first major cosmic checkpoint that hits on Tuesday, February 24th, we have a first quarter moon.
We do.
Now, for anyone who's not super deep into this, why does this matter? I feel like people hear full moon and new moon and they get it, but first quarter kind of sounds like a football game or something.
It's a great question. The first quarter moon is always a moment of friction.
Oh, that's here. Okay.
If you think of the new moon as planting a seed, that moment of pure intention, the first quarter is when that little sprout has to push through the dirt. It encounters resistance. It requires effort.
I see.
Astrologically, the sun and the moon are at a 90-degree angle, which we call a square. And squares create tension. They force you to take action.
So no coasting.
No coasting. And for Libra specifically, on February 24th, this energy is highlighting a real tension between your professional obligations, your work, and your personal enjoyment, or what we can call your fun time.
Oh, I feel like Libras struggle with this constantly anyway.
With their classic dilemma.
They want everyone to be happy, they want to do a good job, but they also really, really appreciate leisure. They're ruled by Venus, after all. They like the nice things in life.
Exactly. And this first quarter moon forces a decision. It's a cosmic checkpoint. You can't just float through Tuesday hoping it all balances itself out.
You have to intervene.
The energy is demanding action. The chart suggests that work is going to be pulling you in one direction, demanding focus and, adulting, while your creative side, your inner child, is just screaming for playtime. It's that feeling of sitting at your desk, you're staring at a spreadsheet, but your brain is completely fixated on painting or going for a walk or literally doing anything but the task at hand.
So the advice here isn't to just flip a coin and pick one. It's to actively manage that scale.
Okay.
Because if you ignore one side, the whole thing just tips over.
Right. You have to actively find the balance. Don't wait for your boss to tell you to go home, and don't wait for your friends to drag you out of the office.
Be proactive.
You have to carve out the time for both. If you lean too hard into work on Tuesday, you're going to burn out before the real chaos even hits later in the week. But if you ignore work for fun, the consequences will be immediate because of that square aspect. It's about conscious compartmentalization. For these 4 hours, I am a professional. For these 4 hours, I am an artist.
Right. Establish that equilibrium early in the week.
Right.
Because, as you mentioned, on Wednesday, February 26th, the entire vibe shifts dramatically.
You guys.
Mercury turns retrograde.
The infamous Mercury retrograde. Now, this happens a few times a year, so it's not, the end of the world. But we have to look at where it's happening for Libra.
Okay.
And this retrograde is hitting the sector of your chart that governs daily schedules, habits, and routine. We call this the 6th house.
So we aren't talking about big existential crises here. It's not a crisis of faith or a massive identity shift.
No.
We're talking about losing your keys, the calendar app crashing, or, double booking a lunch date.
Precisely. Things are going to get messy. That is the key word for Wednesday. The well-oiled machine of the Libra life might start to grind some gears.
Mm-hmm.
You might wake up and just feel like your schedule is scattered.
Yeah.
That focused energy you had on Monday and Tuesday might just evaporate into this fog of, wait, what was I supposed to do next?
It's that feeling of walking into a room and completely forgetting why you're there.
But happening all day long.
Oh, great. And looking at the forecast here, it says this might also bring back old health matters. Now, that sounds a little ominous. What does that mean in this context?
It doesn't necessarily mean a crisis. Retrograde means to go back. So this is often about revisiting things. For a Libra, this might mean an old injury flaring up because you skipped your stretches.
Okay.
Or maybe a return to a dietary issue you thought you had solved. But the universe, effectively, is framing this as an opportunity. It's an audit.
A chance to rethink.
Yes. It's a chance to actually fix things for good. If that old knee pain comes back, maybe it's the universe saying, hey, you never actually went to physical therapy for this. You just ignored it.
So now you have to deal with it.
Now you have to deal with it. It's a course correction for your physical vessel. It's the universe saying, hey, remember that healthy habit you dropped? The one that made you feel good? Or that bad habit you picked back up? Let's look at that again.
I love that perspective. It's not a punishment. It's a review period, a performance review for your body and your calendar.
Exactly.
But just as we get used to that retrograde fogginess on Wednesday, we hit the danger zone, Friday, February 27th. The data highlights this as the day requiring the most caution. We have Mars interacting with Uranus.
This is the astrological equivalent of a lightning strike. Mars is the planet of action, aggression, and drive. It's the gas pedal.
Right.
Uranus is the planet of sudden, unexpected change and disruption. It's the earthquake. When they interact in this volatile way, specifically squaring off, it creates a friction that just snaps.
Wow.
It's high voltage energy running through a wire that isn't rated for it.
Sudden shifts in plans. That's the warning right there.
Yes. And for Libra, who usually likes a nice, polite, curated itinerary, this is jarring.
So disruptive.
It could be a sudden cancellation of a major project, a surprise regarding a creative endeavor, or just a bolt from the blue that completely upends the narrative of the week. You think you're going right, and the universe suddenly yanks the steering wheel hard to the left.
And the forecast warns about emotional regulation here. It says, do not let a small change ruin your good mood. That seems so much easier said than done when Mars is involved. Mars makes us so hot-headed.
It is very difficult. Mars makes us heat up. Uranus makes us reactive. The challenge for Libra on Friday is to be the eye of the storm. If you react impulsively to the surprise, if you snap back, or if you throw your hands up and just quit, you are playing right into that chaotic energy. You become part of the chaos.
I see.
The victory condition for Friday is to stay cool when the plans change. It's all about adaptability. If the restaurant is closed, don't scream at the door. Just go find a taco truck.
So if your Friday goes completely off the rails, just ride the train until it stops. Don't try to jump off.
Exactly.
Because miraculously, Saturday, February 28th, looks like a completely different world.
It really does. It's the calm after the storm. We have a beautiful alignment happening on Saturday, a meeting between Mercury and Venus.
And Venus is Libra's ruling planet, so this must feel like coming home.
It absolutely does. This is a restoration of harmony. After the friction of Tuesday, the messiness of Wednesday, and the shock of Friday, Saturday brings peace.
Ah, thank goodness.
The forecast mentions finding joy in little things. It's a day for sensory pleasure, for good conversation, and for just letting the dust settle. It's the universe apologizing for the rest of the week.
It's amazing how quickly the weather can change in astrology. One day you're dodging lightning bolts, and the next you're having a picnic in the sun.
Well, that's the rhythm of life, isn't it? And knowing that Saturday is coming can actually help you get through Friday.
That's a great point.
You know the chaos isn't permanent, You know the narrative resolves itself.
Keep your eyes on the prize, which is that Saturday piece. Now, I want to pivot to a topic that I know our Libra listeners are always, always interested in: love and romance.
Mm-hmm.
Because Libra is the sign of partnership. They really define themselves by their relationships.
They are the sign of the other. Relationships are their baseline for understanding reality. A Libra alone is often just a Libra waiting for someone to share the experience with.
So, what's the love forecast for this week? The overall vibe is described as dreamy and romantic, which is nice, but again, we have that retrograde factor kind of looming over everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
The romance is there, but it's filtered through this nostalgic lens.
Mm.
When Mercury goes retrograde on the 26th in a way that affects Libra's heart, it prompts a rethinking of affection.
Rethinking how they show love. That's interesting. So it's not just about who they love, but the method of loving.
Exactly. Are you communicating your affection clearly? Are your gestures actually landing? The retrograde might make you question your usual romantic scripts. Maybe you always buy flowers, but you suddenly realize your partner actually prefers words of affirmation.
Mm.
But here is where it gets really interesting, that nostalgia factor. The forecast explicitly mentions the possibility of an old hobby, bringing a Libra back to a past love.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, like, you decide to finally go back to that pottery class you dropped 3 years ago,
Right.
and suddenly there's your ex from 2023.
Or maybe someone you had a crush on but never pursued. The retrograde stirs up the past. It connects the then with the now.
Right.
And because this is linked to hobbies and creative joys, it's highly likely that revisiting a past passion, an art class, a book club, a hiking group, could literally reconnect you with a person from that era of your life.
It's that cinematic moment where you walk into a room and just lock eyes with a ghost from your past.
That is classic retrograde behavior.
So what about our single Libras who aren't necessarily looking backward? Is there anything new on the horizon for them?
There is. The archetype for the week is someone who values beauty and art.
Okay.
If you are single, you aren't looking for the power player CEO type this week. You aren't looking for that aggressive Mars type. You're looking for the poet, the painter, the person who notices the way the light hits the leaves.
Someone with that Venusian energy.
Yes, exactly. Someone who resonates with that.
Nice. But what's the strategy here? Do they need to be aggressive? Should they be downloading every dating app and just swiping furiously?
No. The advice is explicit. Let love unfold naturally. Do not force it against the retrograde current. If you try to push a romance this week, especially with all the confusion in the air, it will likely backfire. You have to float.
Float. I like
If you chase the butterfly, it flies away. If you sit still, it lands on your shoulder. That's the vibe.
Okay, so we're floating. But we have to talk about Friday, February 27th again. We mentioned the Mars-Uranus volatility in general, but how does that specifically hit the love life?
It's a trigger point. A sudden mood swing or a surprise message could cause a lot of stress.
So a text that is taken the wrong way.
A classic Mercury retrograde text taken the wrong way, fueled by the anger of Mars.
So your partner says something totally innocuous, but because of the aspect, you read it as a full-blown attack.
Exactly. Or plans changed last minute, date night gets canceled because of a work emergency, and because of that Mars-Uranus tension, it creates a massive fight out of nowhere.
Oh, no.
The advice is, do not have a knee-jerk reaction on Friday. If you feel that heat rising in your chest, take a time out. Do not break up on a Mars-Uranus square.
That should be a bumper sticker. Don't break up on a Mars-Uranus square.
It really should. Wait for Saturday,
Wait for Saturday.
because on February 28th, we have that gorgeous Mercury-Venus conjunction. This is the sweet spot for love. It's the perfect time for romantic, kind conversation.
It says here this alignment makes it easier to express your heart.
It really does. When the planet of communication, Mercury, meets the planet of love, Venus, the channel is just wide open. You can articulate feelings that were maybe too messy or too explosive to say on Friday. This is where you find that deep connection. If you manage to keep your cool on Friday, Saturday is your reward. It's the makeup date. It's the long, soulful conversation over coffee.
So navigate the nostalgia, don't bite the bait on Friday, and then open your heart on Saturday. Sounds like a solid plan.
It is.
Now let's shift gears to the less romantic but equally important side of things. Career and professional life.
This is where the rubber really meets the road for Libra this week. Remember, we said Mercury goes retrograde specifically in Libra's house of work.
Right. So this isn't just about losing your keys. This is about professional progress, feeling like it is actually moving backward.
That is the sensation.
Yeah.
You might feel like you are walking up a down escalator. You're putting in all this effort, but the projects just aren't advancing.
Uh,
Emails go unanswered. Files get corrupted. The approval you were waiting for gets delayed again. It's the spinning wheel of death on your computer screen, but applied to your entire career for a few days.
that is incredibly frustrating, especially for Libras who like to keep things moving and fair. So what's the strategy? Do we just give up for the week?
No, you pivot. The strategy is maintenance.
Maintenance.
Do not launch. I repeat, do not launch new major initiatives if you can possibly avoid it. Use this week to fix old mistakes. Organize your workspace. Clear out your inbox.
It's a cleanup week, a cosmic spring cleaning in winter.
It is. It's all about refining the systems you already have in place. If you try to push something new, the resistance is going to be high. But if you focus on polishing what is already there, you can actually be incredibly productive.
So go through the filing cabinet, update your resume.
Reconnect with old clients. There's that retrograde nostalgia popping up again.
But again, we have to look at the flashpoint. Friday, February 27th. Mars and Uranus in the workplace. This sounds like potential for a scene.
High potential for workplace drama. The forecast warns of arguments specifically centered on a creative idea or a specific goal.
So creative differences.
Explosive creative differences. You might think a project should look one way, and a colleague, maybe driven by that erratic Uranus energy, suddenly wants to change everything.
Or a boss drops a sudden, unreasonable demand.
Yes. It's the ego clashing with the rebel.
And the Libra instinct might be to jump in and mediate, to argue for fairness and say, hey, let's just hear both sides.
Which would be a huge mistake on this specific day. The best move is patience. Stay away from the drama. If you see a group of coworkers gathering to complain, walk the other way. Put your headphones on and keep your head down. You cannot mediate a Mars-Uranus square. It's a forest fire. You just have to let it burn itself out and stay out of its path.
Defensive tactics. I like it. Just stay in your lane on Friday.
Absolutely.
And then, once again, Saturday brings the resolution.
Yes. By February 28th, Libra's natural charm comes back as a major asset. You can smooth over any feathers that were ruffled. If there was tension on Friday, Saturday is the day to send that, hey, sorry about the confusion yesterday, let's get this right email. You will find peaceful solutions with coworkers are so much easier to come by. The energy just softens. People are willing to listen again.
It really seems like Saturday is the day that saves the entire week.
It is the anchor.
Yeah.
Everything leads to that moment of resolution.
Okay, let's talk money. Because when work is chaotic, we often look at our bank accounts with a little bit of anxiety. What's the financial outlook?
It's a mix of steady energy and then these sudden impulses. We start on Tuesday, February 24th with a spending impulse.
Oh, I know this one. This is the I'm stressed, so I'm going to buy something to make myself happy impulse. It's retail therapy.
Exactly. The forecast says you might get a new idea on how to spend money on happiness. And look, there's nothing wrong with treating yourself. But the charts warned of the tension between this desire and the incoming retrograde.
Right. Buying big-ticket items during a retrograde is usually a big no-no in Astrology 101.
It is. The rule is, think twice. The expert advice here is firmly against big purchases or signing new money contracts from February 26 onwards.
So if you're looking at a new car or signing a lease or buying a massively expensive piece of tech, maybe wait.
Please wait. Wait until the energy clears. If you buy technology during a retrograde, it tends to have glitches. If you sign a contract, the terms might need to be renegotiated later. Just hold off. And also, just logistically, expect delays. Incoming payments or refunds might take longer than usual. The check is in the mail, but the mail is very, very slow.
And then we have the unexpected costs on Friday the 27th. That Mars squaring Uranus again.
Yes. This aspect hits the wallet, too. The forecast suggests an unexpected expense related to a fun project or a child.
So your kid suddenly needs braces, or that hobby you love suddenly requires a new, expensive part.
Exactly. Or you break something valuable by accident. That's very Mars-Uranus. You drop your phone, you trip and rip your expensive coat.
Oof.
The advice is to keep the budget simple earlier in the week so you can absorb this shock if it happens. Don't spend your surplus on Tuesday, because you might really need it on Friday.
Good practical advice. Build in a buffer. But keeping with our theme, Saturday brings an upswing.
It does. The Mercury-Venus alignment can bring good news about a gift or a small financial gain.
A gift. We like gifts.
It could be a literal gift or maybe a small bonus or finding $20 in an old coat pocket. That's a small gain that just makes you feel happy. It restores that sense of abundance after the scare on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds you that the universe is generous, even if it is sometimes chaotic.
I'm really sensing a pattern here. Survive the week, get rewarded on Saturday.
That's the shape of it.
Let's move to health and wellness. The forecast states that health is a priority status this week.
It is, and it's specifically linked to daily routines. Because the retrograde is in that sector, your physical well-being is directly tied to how organized or disorganized your day is.
On February 26th, we have that scattered energy. I can see how that leads directly to stress. When you don't know where you're supposed to be, your body just gets tense.
Cortisol levels rise, you skip meals, you start surviving on coffee. That is the trap. The fix, according to the stars, is returning to a healthy habit you used to have.
Again with the retrograde theme, going back.
Yes, I used to drink green tea every morning. I used to walk for 20 minutes after lunch. Go back to that. Do not try to start some brand new, intense fitness regime. Just revive the good things you let slide.
It's about muscle memory.
Your body remembers what felt good. You just have to give it permission to do it again.
Now, Friday the 27th, we talked about emotional volatility, but how does Mars-Uranus manifest physically?
It's jitters, restlessness. Mars is adrenaline. Uranus is electricity. You might feel like you've had 10 espressos. You might feel physically shaky or just unable to sit still. It's a very buzzy, static-y energy in the body.
So high-intensity interval training might be a really bad idea.
It might be way too much stimulation. If your nervous system is already redlining, adding intense physical stress can lead to injury or burnout.
So what's the prescription?
Gentle exercise. Yoga is perfect because it grounds that electrical energy. Or a brisk walk in nature. You need to burn off the excess energy, but you don't want to stress the system further. You want to discharge the static, not add to the charge.
And by Saturday, February 28th?
Recovery. You'll feel vibrant and peaceful, but the requirement is that the body needs rest to maintain this peace. Don't go run a marathon on Saturday.
Right.
Enjoy the feeling of wellness. Treat your body like a temple that just survived a storm. Take a bath. Get a massage. Sleep in.
Beautiful. Okay, we have covered the timeline and all the sectors of life. Now I want to get into what we call the cosmic cheat sheet. This is a quick summary and the specifics for our Libras.
Let's do it.
First up, colors. You have a specific color for the week, pink. Color code, #FFC0CB.
Pink is the color of Venus, Libra's ruling planet. It represents softness, affection, harmony. In a week that is so spiky and hard, with Mars and Uranus wearing pink or surrounding yourself with pink is a form of energetic armor.
I love that. Energetic armor that's soft.
It softens the blow. It reminds you of your core nature. It's not just about fashion, it's color psychology. It signals to your brain that you are safe and can be gentle.
And the lucky numbers.
We have 6, 15, 24, 33, 42, and 51.
I'm seeing a pattern here. These are all multiples of 3, mostly adding up to 6.
The number 6 is associated with Venus and domestic harmony. It's a very stabilizing number sequence. If you see these numbers, just take it as a little sign you're on the right track.
Best dates. We've hammered this home, but let's say them one more time.
February 24th for finding that initial balance making, the choice to balance, and February 28th for peace and resolution.
Now this is my favorite part. Compatibility. Who should Libra hang out with this week and who should they maybe give a little space to? The best match is listed as Aquarius.
Aquarius is an air sign, just like Libra. They speak the same language, they operate on an intellectual plane. But specifically this week, Aquarius brings that creative and fun energy.
Why is that so crucial right now?
Because the world feels so messy to Libra this week. And Libra hates mess. Aquarius? Aquarius doesn't mind a little chaos. They're ruled by Uranus, the very planet causing all the trouble on Friday.
Oh, that's interesting.
So an Aquarius friend can look at the disruption and say, hey, this is actually interesting. Let's look at the bright side. They can reframe the disaster into an adventure.
So they act as a sort of buffer.
Exactly. They keep you inspired. They understand the need for balance, but they aren't rattled by the retrograde. And critically, the forecast says an Aquarius will stand by you during the stress of February 27th.
They're your ride or die this week.
They're the friend who laughs when the waiter drops the tray, instead of getting mad about it.
On the flip side, we have the worst match, Capricorn.
Yeah. This is a tough energetic clash for this specific week. Capricorn is an earth sign. They're ruled by Saturn. They're all about structure, rules, and work.
And usually that's a good thing, but not this week.
Not this week, because Libra is trying to find joy amidst the chaos. Capricorn is likely to double down on seriousness. That square between Mars and Uranus on the 27th might make Capricorn seem extra bossy or rigid.
So while Libra is trying to float the changes, Capricorn is trying to build a dam.
Right, and that creates so much friction. Capricorn might view Libra's desire for beauty or fun as frivolous right now. Why are you painting? We have a crisis.
And Libra will view Capricorn as a total killjoy.
It's a fundamental clash of priorities for these 7 days.
Plus, you have the communication struggles of the retrograde on top of that.
Exactly. Misunderstandings about shared goals are almost guaranteed. The advice is simple. Avoid serious talks with Capricorns until the energy clears. Keep it light, or just give each other some space. It's not that you can't be friends, just maybe don't plan a complex project together on Friday afternoon.
Space is good. Okay, so we have the map. We know where the landmines are, specifically Friday. We know where the treasure is buried Saturday. And we know who to bring along for the right Aquarius.
It's a week that asks a lot of Libra, but it also offers a lot. It asks you to be flexible. It asks you to find your center, even when the world around you is shaking.
Harmony amidst the retrograde. It's not about everything being perfect around you. It's about maintaining the peace inside you.
That is the ultimate Libra lesson, isn't it? Balance isn't a static state. It's a constant, active adjustment. This week is just a high-speed exercise in that adjustment. It's balance training.
Well, to all our Libra listeners, good luck with the adjustments. Don't fear the retrograde. Don't let the 27th knock you off your pedestal. And please enjoy that beautiful peace waiting for you on the 28th.
And remember, if things get too crazy, just wear pink and call your Aquarius friend.
Solid advice. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Horoscope TV. We really hope this forecast helps you navigate your week with a little more grace and a little less stress.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to analyze the stars with you.
If you enjoyed this analysis, please make sure to subscribe to Horoscope TV so you can get notified the moment our next episode is available. We have a lot more cosmic ground to cover in the weeks ahead.
Indeed we do.
Until then, take care of yourselves. We'll see you in the stars.